blacks and Hispanics. We believe in God, but we don't know anything about what the Bible's talking about. Romans chapter 10. You understand what I'm saying, sis? With the glasses, with the white on? Okay.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 1.
How you doing, Tim Brown? Good to see you, bro. What's your name? What's your name? Harold? It's good to see you, Harold. Check this out.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
So we're reading in the New Testament, and Paul's saying that his prayer is for the Israelites that they might be saved. The Israelites are these people right here.
That's
Read.
right.
For I bear them record.
This is what Paul wrote down about us. Read.
That they have a seal of God.
We have a seal of God. Every Sunday you see churches filled with our people. Am I right?
That's right.
You see churches filled with black and brown people.
Right.
The Bible says that we have a seal of God. Read.
But not according to knowledge.
But what?
But not according to knowledge.
We don't have the knowledge of God.
Right.
We don't have the understanding of who we are in God's book.
That's right.
We think that we're black. We think we're Negro, African American,
Right.
Mexican. We think we're all these things. But God is never talking to those people. He's talking to the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
And you know how I can tell we haven't been taught any knowledge, Taryn? You mind if I ask your children a question? How old are you? What's your name, young man? Big dog, what's your name? Giovanni. I need your help, Giovanni. Okay. Who is this guy right here? Jesus. Your son Giovanni say this is Jesus, okay? Now remember, we read that we have a zeal of God, but we don't have any knowledge. So let's see if this smart young man, if he's right. Let's see if he's right, but I need you to pay attention, all right, bro? You with me? You with me? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the Bible actually reveals what Christ looks like. It actually says what it says about how he looks. Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it says that the hair on his head was white in color, and it was like wool.
That's
Do you know what wool is? Wool is like the hair of a sheep or like a lamb. It's kind of curly. Take off your hat, let me see your hair. You got hair like wool. You have hair the same as Christ. Now, does this guy have hair like wool, like you? This guy here, does he have hair like you, or does he have straight hair? This guy has straight hair.
Bring it out.
The Bible says that he has curly hair like you. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So his eyes were red because he drank a lot of wine. His first miracle was turning water into wine. Go ahead.
And his feet.
And his feet. Now, Giovanni, your feet are the same color as your face, right? So we're talking about his feet, the color of his feet. Read.
Like unto fine brass.
Brass is brown, Giovanni. Christ had brown feet, just like you. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. Now, you're a smart young man. When you burn something, what color is it? When you burn something, it turns. When mama burns breakfast, what color does it come out? It comes out black.
That's right.
Now the Bible said, read it one more time for me.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So the Bible says that his feet were burnt like they burned in a furnace. So what color would his feet be? They would be black. Very good. So if his feet were black, what color was his face? Black. So how could, if the Bible says that Christ had hair like wool, like you, and a black face, we haven't been taught something right. This is not Jesus. You understand that, Taryn? We've been taught a lot of lies about what God requires of our people. We've been taught lies about who we are, and we've been forced to worship a God that's not ours. Right? If you ever wondered why blacks and Hispanics are on the bottom of society, you ever wondered that? Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Hey, big dog. Hey, you ever wonder why our people are in the ghetto while we're on the bottom of society? The Bible has all the answers to all these questions, but we got to wake up and realize what God is really talking about. Check this out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Hey, big dog. My man. Hey, when the Bible says it shall come to pass, you know what that means? That means it will happen. When the Bible says something will come to pass, it means it will happen. Come on.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God. Taryn, that's what we're not doing as black and brown people. We're not really hearing what God is talking about. We don't understand the Bible the way it's meant to be written. Read.
To observe to do all his commandments.
And we're not doing God's commandments. Read.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses will come upon us and overtake us. This is why the so-called black and Hispanic fill the prison houses. This is the reason why we're on the bottom in Oakland. How you doing, sis? Read.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shall thou be in the city. When I look out at Oakland, I see a cursed people. You so-called blacks and Hispanics, you are cursed because you've breaking the commandments of God. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And cursed shall thou be in the field. Any field of study, even in the strawberry fields, you are cursed. Young lady, how you doing? Young lady, how you doing? All right, read.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right.
Anybody show me a Fortune 500 company ran by a so-called Latino? You show me the stock market S&P 500 with the so-called black man in charge of it. Right. It says we be cursed with our basket, cursed with our businesses, right? Cursed with our ways to earn wages to pay for our families to eat. Read.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
And cursed shall be the fruit of your body. Your children come out not knowing who they are.
Right.
Your children come out into gang-infested communities.
Right.
Your children being born by single mothers. Your children being born by absentee fathers. Your children being born and taken into protective services.
That's right.
Your children are cursed. The fruit of your basket is cursed. Read.
And the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind.
The fruit of the land and the increase of thy kind. How is it that in your land you are in service to a people who enslaved you? When they call you the illegal alien. When they're the ones who invaded. They're the ones who invaded and called you a Gentile. They're the ones who invaded and turned the image of the Messiah into a white man. They're the ones who invaded and told you that you are Mexican. When you are none of these things. You are the Israelites from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
You are the Israelites from the tribe of Zebulun. You are the Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. But you got to wake up and realize who you are. Realize who God is talking to. Realize what time we're in. Hey, big bro, anti-social club. Big bro, hey, do you believe we in the last days?
Bring it up.
You want to come find out how we know we are? ¿Cómo está? Buenos días, hermanos. Buenos días, hermanos. La Biblia dice que esta gente aquí, hermana. Okay.
Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that knowing the time.
You got to know what time it is. You got to know why these wars are popping off across the world. You got to wake up and know the time. You got to wake up and know what's really going on. Read.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Did you hear what that said, brother?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.